Okay, for this last question, what we're basically walking you guys through is how to create a buffer and do a clip, because you do in GIS have to do this like a kabillion times a week. So these are really fundamental vector geoprocessing tools. You'll have to use them for the rest of the semester, and definitely will need it for the last few labs. So even though there's probably a faster way to do this, you do need to know how to create a buffer and do a clip, and eventually you'll need to do an erase. So the first thing we want to do is focus in on the Caribbean islands. We're going to turn off the countries layer and kind of simplify this a little bit. We don't need any of this stuff right now. Let's zoom to this layer so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so here are the islands of the Caribbean, and we've got our anti-shipping incidents still. So we want to create a buffer. Let me just double check. It's a 100 nautical mile buffer. So to do that, we're going to search and put in buffer, and the analysis tool works great if it'll open. So what we want to be buffering are the islands, so we'll put that in here. Our output feature class, we're not going to blow this off, we're going to put it in our output data folder, and we can call it 100, something like that. The linear units we're going to have be 100 nautical miles, and side type full, that's fine. Sometimes it helps to do a dissolve all. What it ends up doing is dissolving each, or buffering each little feature to 100 nautical miles, and if they overlap you'll get a bunch of different rings, and this kind of smooths them all out into just one thing. And then that's all we need to do. Hit OK to run that. And we should just see an inflated balloon basically around these guys. Okay, so here are the results of the buffer. Then what we're going to do is do a clip. And so what a clip does, it's like a cookie cutter. Let me show you the picture. I do recommend when you do clips that you, or use any of these tools, you look at the show help. Basically, if you click on a gray, it defines what the tool does, and in this case it gives you a really handy illustration. So the input, what it's showing you here is that it can be lines, points, polygons, but this is the input, and it can be any one of these things, or if you batch process, it could be all of them. But look at the points. Our clip feature is some shape. The output is going to be just the input that's within this shape. Okay, so all we were left is the one point. Or if we were cutting polygons, we'd only be left with the polygons that are inside the clip feature. So we have an input, we have a clip feature, and then we're going to get a whole new output data set. So our input features, it should be clear from this that that's the points. So we need this to be our ASSAM data set. Our clip feature, what shape are we interested in? The buffer. So let's put in our 100 nautical mile buffer, and then we're not going to blow this off. We're going to call it a sum that's related to the 100 mile stuff. Those are pretty terrible names, but there you have it. And if we do that, what you're going to notice is it just spit out a new data set, but it doesn't really look like anything changed. That's because the color of these are very similar. If I turn this off though, oh, they're all gone. So in the new data set that we just created, all we have are the points that are within. Now, the question I ask is how many incidents of aggression happened within 100 nautical miles of the Caribbean islands? How can you answer that? Well, how many points are there? You could do a select by location, and you could just select all of the ones that are within this, or you could just look at how many points are in this data set. All right, that should be it. Let me know if you have any questions, and thanks.